3, 2, 1. All right, you guys, today we are making some rainbow watermelon gummy dog treats. To start off, what you're going to need is 12 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. Each box comes with about 4 packets, so you'll need about 3 boxes, and some bone broth. We're using our favorite broth from Open Farm, and I'll leave the code in the description for a discount for you guys. Some unsweetened coconut milk, some food coloring, and of course a watermelon. First things first, you're going to want to cut your watermelon in half. If you have a larger watermelon, you can cut it straight down the middle, but if you get one of the smaller watermelons, I would recommend cutting off just a little bit of the top so you have enough room to put all of the colors inside. Next, you're going to empty out your watermelon. It's going to look just like that, and then you're going to have plenty of watermelon to eat, and you're going to want to save some of the juice. Next, you're going to take your bone broth and boil it on the stove. If you decide to use the one from Open Farm, I would suggest adding a little bit of water to kind of dilute it down so that the food coloring will show. Next, we're going to take 2 envelopes of our unflavored gelatin, and then we're going to add in about half a cup of our boiling turkey broth and mix it all together until it's all dissolved. And then after that, add in your food coloring. And to the red, I'm going to add in a little bit of the watermelon juice, and then I'm going to add in a cup of cold water. So now we are going to take a layer of this red juice and pour it down into the watermelon. Keep in mind we're going to have 12 layers, so just make sure you leave enough room for all of the colors. And we're going to stick this into the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Next, we're going to take the remaining of the red juice and put in a couple splashes of coconut milk until we get a nice little white tint. You can make it as light or dark as you want, and then mix that all together. Now you're going to pull your watermelon out of the freezer. That first layer should be slightly firm to the touch. And you're going to pour the white layer on top, doing a little bit of a thinner layer than the first layer, and then put this back in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Now we are going to repeat this process for every single layer. This treat does take a little bit of time to make, but I promise it's worth it because it turns out so good. Let's see how it turned out. And voila, look at that. Look how beautiful that turned out. Now we're going to cut the pieces in half, and it's time for the taste test. Since Dexter is such a good boy, he was refusing to try to eat the treat when I had it on the table. So I had to bring it down onto the carpet, and then he started gobbling it all up. And since I left the watermelon on the plate, when he would go to eat it, the watermelon would start spinning around. So it was like he was getting a mini enrichment activity with the treat. Also, please keep in mind that these are treats and not a meal replacement. You really only want to be giving your dogs these kind of treats in small doses, just on occasions. And they can also not eat the rind. If they do eat the rind, it can cause blockages, so definitely be careful of that. Lucy, that's all she was interested in. She just wanted to chew the rind up, so I ended up having to take the Jell-O out from there. And once we did that, we were all in the clear, and Lucy just chowed down on the Jell-O.
Duke. Come on. No.
Duke started getting a little impatient, so we started to sneak in to try to steal some of Lucy's, so we ended up having to take him and put him in his kennel until Lucy was done finishing her food. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know that my dog Duke is one of the most pickiest eaters in the world, so it definitely took him a minute to start eating the food, and he definitely took his time finishing it, but he did end up liking it, so we were just happy about that. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more homemade dog treats from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.